Okay, so what if investing wasn't some complicated thing locked away on Wall Street? What if you could actually become an owner in the brands you use every day, or the sports teams you live and die for, right from your phone? Well, we're going to dive into a massive shift that's happening right now, where companies are getting funded by the very people who love them the most, their fans.
I mean, just think about that for a second. You're at the game, you're buying your favorite snack, and you get a notification that lets you invest in the team right then and there. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's not. It is happening, and it's completely changing the game by turning regular consumers into owners. So, let's break down how this whole thing actually works. So, to really get why this change is so revolutionary, we've got to take a step back and look at just how broken the old system was, especially for private companies trying to raise some cash to grow. You know, for decades, if a private company needed money, it was a total nightmare. It's been called the Wild West for a reason. There was no clear process like a big public IPO. We're talking founders literally spending all their time chasing down paper documents, getting actual physical signatures. It was this huge, messy, undefined system that was just incredibly slow and inefficient.
And when you put the old way next to the new way, the difference is just, wow, it's night and day. We're going from this slow, paper-chasing, super exclusive world to something that feels more like a simple online checkout. It's fast, it's digital, it's standardized, and most importantly, it's open to everybody in a company's community. This isn't just a small tweak, it's a complete overhaul.
So, who decides to tackle a problem this big? Well, as it turns out, it took someone who had a front row seat to all the chaos and frustration for years. Someone from the inside. And that someone is Rebecca Casaba. She's the CEO of a company called Dealmaker, and I love this, she calls herself a recovering lawyer. Why? Because she spent over a decade as a capital markets lawyer, right in the thick of IPOs and big deals, and she saw just how broken the process was. She knew there had to be a way to use technology to make it faster, better, and a whole lot cheaper for everyone.
And has it worked? Yeah. The proof is in the numbers. We're talking over $2 billion that companies have raised using this new model. So this isn't just some niche idea. It's been proven to work at a massive, massive scale.
All right, so how does this online checkout for capital really work? What's going on behind the scenes? Well, it pretty much boils down to a really smart three-step process.
It's super structured. First, they use data to score a company and figure out if they're even a good candidate for this kind of online fundraising. Then there's a 2 to 3 month setup period where they get all the marketing and campaign materials ready to go. And finally, they launch the campaign, which can run for about 6 to 12 months to hit that fundraising goal.
Now here is the real magic. All that boring, complicated back-end stuff, the legal compliance, the background checks, reading all the fine print, it's all automated and just baked right into the technology. So for you, the investor, the whole experience feels seamless. You go from saying, I'm in, to actually closing the deal in no time at all. And maybe the most important question, who actually gets to invest? This is the key that unlocks everything. Because of some newer regulations, things called Reg A and RegCF, it's not just for the super wealthy anymore. It means pretty much any American, not just accredited investors, can get in on the action. It's truly opening up access to these private company investments for everyone.
The technology is one thing, and it's super impressive, but the real-world results, that's where it gets really exciting. Let's look at a few of these incredible success stories.
Okay, first up, a huge number. $65 million.
And get this, that $65 million, it was raised in just 6 days. 6. How? The media company Newsmax went directly to its biggest asset, its own audience. These were people who already watched their shows, read their articles, and felt a real connection. So of course, they wanted to own a piece of it.
All right, here's another one. This company raised the absolute maximum amount allowed under the regulations, $75 million.
This raise was for a company called Picasso. They're in the luxury property space. And what's so fascinating is that they were already a tech darling, already backed by big-time venture capitalists. But even they saw the incredible power of bringing their users in as owners, calling their community a growth multiplier. But it's not all just media and tech. I absolutely love this story. The Oakland Ballers are a baseball team that was literally founded on this idea that the community should own the team. They used this model to get started, and you know what? They just went out and won their league. How cool is that?
So why are all these different companies doing this?
Well, the benefits are just massive. When your customers become your owners, they become your most passionate evangelists. They're actually 80% more engaged with the business. It builds this unbelievably loyal community. And get this, up to 35% of them might invest again in future rounds. Plus, you can offer them cool perks that help grow the business even more.
When you zoom out, you realize this is so much bigger than just a few case studies or one company. This is signaling a huge fundamental shift in the entire world of investing. We are right in the middle of the rise of the retail investor. I mean, in 2023, regular folks were responsible for over $1 billion a day in trading volume. We're seeing huge companies like Reddit and Figma come out and say, yes, we want you, our users, to be our owners. The trend is undeniable. Investing is becoming just another seamless part of our daily lives.
And it really all boils down to this one simple, powerful idea. For so many modern brands, raising money this way isn't just an alternative anymore. It's actually becoming the preferred way. They get it. They know that the capital that comes from their own community is the most powerful kind of capital you can have. So, I'll leave you with this to think about. Just for a second, consider the brands you love, the products you use every single day, the teams you cheer for. If you had the chance to become an owner in any one of them, which would it be? Because the answer to that question, well, it's shaping the entire future of how businesses are built.